evening and welcome to Correro, your socio-political and public interest talk show where we unpack issues shaping our nation's stability and development. I am Godwin Sunday. For years, Nigerians' forests have served as more than just natural reserves. They have become hideouts for bandits, kidnappers, and criminal elements who exploit the vast, ungoverned spaces to carry out attacks and evade law enforcement agents. This has raised major security concerns not only for rural communities, but for the entire country. With the government's ongoing efforts to strengthen internal security and empower local forest guards, the big question is, how effective are these measures in addressing the growing threats within our forests? Are we doing enough to secure our green belt and the people who live around them? Tonight on Correro, we'll be discussing and addressing forest security concerns and, by extension, other security issues in Nigeria. And joining me to talk about forest security in Nigeria is Koita Bawa, the Commander FCT Forest Service, who will help us to understand the current situation, the challenges on the field, and what new strategies are being adopted to reclaim our forest from criminal control. We will go for a short break right now. When we come back, the conversation begins. Please stay with us. Welcome back. So good to have you everyone join us this evening. Commander Koita Bawa.
Thank you, Mr. Sunday Godwin. My name is Koita Bawa Atanodu.
Okay.
FCT
the other one will get to rehearse the other part of it. Let's just go with the Koita for now and the Bawa. All right, so it's a delight to have you even here on Correro. Now let's begin the conversation by first you at least talking to us first. I understand that the president is doing a lot in terms of trying to empower the NFSS. But let's begin. What is the NFSS all about? Knowing fully well that you've moved from hunters and right now I know the force, a lot of reform is going on. But what is the force all about?
Once again, I want to say thank you for your concern as well being here. We want to appreciate the Mr. President, which seems to be first, number one, of his own security, to ensure that the major aspect of his leadership is security concern. Because when the humans are being safe and so guided, slept well, definitely every of his leadership went well. Nigerian Forest Security Service, with the aims and the goals set by the Commander General, Dr. Joshua Wale Osatmehe, which this organization started from since 2016, thereabout. With some couple of months now, we crossed to over 10 years. The organization started with the wealth of Nigerian forests and Nigerian forest hunters, Nigerian Hunter Forest Security Service, which this passes from the National Assembly to the Senate, and the hunters was removed by the Senate. And today, it's Nigerian Forest Security Service. Now, what is our aim is for us to combat with the security of the country. We are the front lines. The forest, as the name implies, Nigerian forest. The forestry, our major rules is for us to receive the information, intelligent gathering, to split and to give out our sisters agency, unlike police, civil defense, even the DSS, the army itself, and other security agency as well.
All right, so we understand that the Nigerian forests tend to be very porous. A lot of activities, criminal activities are going on in the forest. But then, what is the NFSS doing differently in order to address all of these concerns?
In this regard, the Nigerian forestry is a national concern And when we are talking about the security, we are talking about the draw of insecurity. And when there is insecurity, then the initiative of security now come. How to combat, how to detect, how to detect for the crime not happen within the region. The forest, as I'm the forest concerned, we understand that in Nigeria here, we have a lot of forests. Take a look from the area from Maduguri in Sambisa and Zamfara. Aziz, we have the forest. Niger, we have the forest. Even south of Cross River, we have the Bandru Share across the Chad and the Cameroon in Cross River area. And when we are talking about the forest, we look at where are these things happening. Now, in the forest, you understand that the humans supposed to have access. What did they do in the forest? Farming areas and all that. Insecurity have made human to be ungoverned, not for them to have access to dwell with their farming. And in the forest, we are talking about the forestry, Nigerian Forest Security Service, that if these assignments with the aims and objectives set by the Commander General, the TV, Mr. Wale Joshua Osatimeye, set by his own lieutenant, national body. If you take a look, our organization is well structured from the national body down to the state level, to council level, to all the units and to the world, that every information gathering will spread it, meaning we are in the frontline defense. From the grassroots, the unit level, you all know and agree with me that for the community level, the forests are being aware by the world, by the communities. And if we know the forest trees that the forest belongs to the community, and the community are aware where the forestry, that these boundary trees and all that, that it can frustrate, and for the farmers to ensure that the lives of per se will not be governed to each person's. Now, we are saying that since this is us, or in our own organic, on our own structure, every unit, by the time we are in the defense axis, when we see something, we say something.
Well, Commander Bauer, let me pick your thoughts here. Why I asked that question, I asked that question in order to ask. A lot of Nigerians are curious right now and saying that the Nigerian Forest Security Service is just a duplication of responsibility. So I'm asking, what is the Nigerian Forest Security Service doing differently in order for them to even be recognized as a security service? Shouldn't we be looking or having conversation around absorbing the Nigerian Forest Security Service into the NSCDC or the Nigerian police in order to ensure that we don't have duplication of responsibilities?
Now, when we are talking about duplication, meaning you are doing each other or somebody's job. The forest, you all know that. Let's start from the Nigerian Army, which are the #1 front lines of the security aspect, which no one and nobody can compare it. They stand. I will give kudos. I will continue to give kudos to the Nigerian Army. So other securities. The forest, as I started with the structure, you look at our structure. How is our structure look like? Our structure starts from the communities. Then look at other structure, existing securities. Our sister existing security, what are their structure? Right? Now, we are saying that in all our structure, since we are in the unit, basically in the communities, whenever in the community, if there is anything, forestry belongs to what? Communicants. That belongs to the people living in the houses. For instance, let's take a look from the military. The military, fine. Whenever you are being They are all in the national aspect. In the national aspect, meaning they are in the front lines of defense, but they are not reciting in the community. But the Nigerian Forest Security Service, we are saying we recite in our communities, and we see where the patrollers and the poorest of the forest is, meaning we are not in any other inflections of any other duties. And whenever we see something, we signal to any other security agency to come in.
Well, again, there have been concerns that the Nigerian Forest Security Service agents or members of the Nigerian Forest Security Service, as it were, in the northern part of Nigeria, and by extension, other parts of Nigeria, it's just a body that receive complaints, and they cannot carry out any form of protection, even on forests. That's why we are having a lot of theft, a lot of criminal activities going on in the forest right now, because the Nigerian Forest Security Service are not doing what it ought to do. Do you want to quickly react to this? How effective is the Nigerian Forest Security Service even within the ambience of our forests right now?
When the power is being given, there are forces to use in the power. And when the power is not being given, there are limited using your force in that regard.
What do you mean by power giving power? You want to...
When they said do, it has been legalized. And when you are not being legalized, you have a limited power to ensure you contribute. But when the government, having looked at from this since 2016, we have been in the contributions voluntary in all the states. Our men are doing all they ensure to collaborate that the ends of this insecurity will stop under voluntary organizations. And when the bill was passed, the Senate said that with these aims and objectives set by the Commander General, we are good to go. If the power is being given to us, we do what? We do more than what we have been doing. We have been legal.
So as it stands right now, the Nigerian Forest Security Service, your hands are tied.
We are still waiting for the signal. We are still waiting for the signal.
Nigerians cannot trust the Nigerian Forest Service even if they find them in the forestry to protect them.
Of course, they have trust. They have trust.
You said your hands. You agree with me that your hands
from
are
the
tied.
National body, from the national level.
Then, we find a uniformed person in the forest.
Yes.
The first thing that should come to an average Nigerian is trust.
If somebody
be protected.
If somebody has been passed,
if we find your members,
if somebody has been passed into law,
if we find members of the Nigerian Forest Security Service as a voluntary organization right now, in the forest, we are not safe. Steve.
We have been safe because if somebody is being passed into law, are waiting for the more power to be given. Right, get me right. If we are not being useful, which means the organization have not been passed through this process. So we are being regarded.
Well, Commander, I think you need to talk to me like a 5-year-old child in this regard.
Yes.
I need to understand, an average Nigerian needs to understand. If we find a forest security service a member or probably a corps in the field, are you saying at this point in time, because the laws have not been passed, the average Nigerian is not safe? That is, the Nigerian Forest Security Service cannot discharge AYZ even in the forest. How safe are we when we find forest security guards in the field?
Let me tell you this, that our contribution in the country have been immense. Most of the states, even including FCT, all over the state, see us as their own, contributing from the grassroots. And what I'm saying is very simple, that if our organization have been contributed down to some certain thing, and I tell you, this organization have passed into 2 Senate, waiting for proper ascending from the Mr. President. Now, having said that, can you just fold your hands and wait, or you will be up and doing, so that the activities of the organization will always be known that these people are good to go?
So invariably, if we find you on the field, we can trust you.
Of course.
All right, let's move on to other pressing issues. Well, a lot of Nigerians will say that members of the Nigerian Forest Security Service have also been compromising security even at the forest, because nobody enters the forest without understanding the forest. And largely, people that even accelerate and ensure that some of these criminal elements that are in the forest find their way and navigate their path are being directed by the members of the Nigerian Forest Security Service. How correct is this assertion?
You know, in humans, people are good to say, but the fact remains its own truth. How can we, in our own contribution, to ensure that the life is being safe? And how can we indulge to that regard? If we are contributing to ensure that we give our own quotas, to ensure that individually life is being safe, and whenever we see anything, we say something, and this job have always been done, then have fact. So I think we need to reverse in cautioning, because we, in this, we are always contributing. Whenever we see something, we say something, as I mentioned, to all our security agencies.
So are there policies in place? Are there blueprints to guarantee that no member from the Nigerian Forest Security Service is sabotaging the effort of the organization?
How can you indulge yourself when you are trying to ensure that you show your reality?
But these are speculations. There are speculations that
That's
say
what I'm saying. That is human.
These are speculations that say that the Nigerian Forest Security Service are being at the forefront of even sabotaging security efforts.
That cannot
because
be.
Members of the Nigerian Forest Security
That
Service
cannot be.
Understands the forest.
Yes.
They understand the modality of the forest, and as such, they aid and accelerate some criminal activities within the forest. That's why I have you here to help us out with to understand what are there policies by the Nigerian Forest Security Service? Is there blueprints? Is there modalities that to ensure that if a member of the Nigerian Forest Security Service, or let's even start with the recruitment process for the Nigerian Forest Security Service, how do you recruit members into the Nigerian Forest Security Service?
In a recruiting aspect, just what I told you, from the grassroots, you must sure of the person, meaning you must vet the person. And our form is very clear that when you, from the national body down to the state body, and from the state body to the unit. So there is no way that we will give out the form without proper identification. So we have to vet. And from there are columns from the chiefs to the police, even to the DSS, to sign the forms in this. And that is how we are being recruited. So when we give out the forms, definitely you will take the form to the chiefs before you bring it back. The chief in that community, which is the overseeing and the chief security of the community, have to sign the form. That's the process. And this process has keep going. So there is no way that we will be in the compromise. No, because our objective is very clear, to ensure that security must be achieved to in line with the Mr. President and any other leadership of Nigeria.
So if I get you correctly at this point, taking the form to the chief, is there any other modalities being put in place? Any health ground, psychological training or something to evaluate who is being recruited into the corps?
Definitely, you must be fit. You must be fit. And bear with me that in this regard, there are processes that we combat, because there are things, there are processes, meaning that we use the communities, because just why I'm telling you that from the grassroots basis, this organization is in clear indication that from the grassroots basis, that whenever we know where and the penetrations of the porousness of the forest. So if this organization is from the grassroots basis, and the form is being given. Definitely, you know, there is no way you just see somebody on the road and start telling him, come and be in the organization.
All right, so let's look at the modalities through which the Nigerian Forest Security Service resolve issues. Bringing it back to the Federal Capital Territory.
Yes.
How has it been so far?
Fine. Resolving issue, meaning, that's what I'm telling you. Legality stands. Whenever we see something that's penetrating in any other thing, definitely we signal to our sister agency to come in. And that has been our mode of operation, intelligence gathering, local intelligence gathering, to ensure that whenever, before things happen, we have give the signal. Before you notice any other security that we have been informed, they will switch into action.
Well, Commander, there have been conversations around the fact that they have more unresolved cases, that most communities report these cases and this concern, raise these concerns even to members of the Nigerian Forest Security Service before invaders, even the criminal elements, even start vandalizing and cutting away people's property. They report to the security agents, and the first point of call is the Nigerian Forest Security Service. And most largely, they have unresolved cases because Nigerian Forest Security Service would not respond to them.
How will you allege someone that have not yet, how will you allege, and someone that is contributing his quotas, how will you allege onto him?
That's what I want to find out from you. Does the Nigerian Forest Security Service carry out investigations, or does the Nigerian Forest Security Service liaise with others?
Before you give out the information, that's what I'm telling you. We have all our structure built.
A lot of people will say, coming from, let's even take it back to Buhari.
Yes.
Coming in from Buhari,
yes.
A lot of people will say that they've reported cases of banditry, they reported cases of criminal incidents in Buhari. Let's take it down to Gwagwalada. A lot of people will say almost the same thing in the forest within this axis.
I want to tell you that we have contributed majorly in all these 6 area council. Having called Buhari have contributed massively in joint forces and all that, giving out the information to stop this. You have a weakness. Most of all these insecurities fight then, that was this contribution from Nigerian Forest Security Service happened to ensure, even in my turn, to ensure that we'll send signal, we send information, we send a lot of things to DSS, to police, to ensure that they switch into action. And these have always, even Kuje, these have always been helpful for all the masses. And there is no any report that is said to me in the local side that will not signal to our sisters agencies to ensure they key in with the action. None.
That's quite interesting. Now let's talk about this as a paramilitary, as a voluntary organization. Locals within Nigeria would say that members have been harassed by members of the Nigerian Forest Security Service. When your members put on their uniform, they harass community members. You want to quickly react to this? Are there disciplinary measures to ensure that there is no abuse of office, there is no abuse of power, even from the whole organogram of the organization?
You will trust me that this organization have gone to certain level, majorly in terms of receiving training off and on for all our agencies.
So you
have been trained by the national body.
So you say no personnel is harassing anybody anywhere?
We are well disciplined. We are well disciplined. Our men also are well disciplined to ensure that we are fit to key in with the federal structure. So there is no way we abuse our own uniform or our own organizations.
All right. So you are saying invariably that members of this organization do not harass
caught me.
Of course, Nigerians are watching across, and of course, the whole world is watching us right now.
Caught me.
We are saying that no member of the organization is harassing people.
And when you are talking about harass,
Yes.
which means you just see somebody just like that, and an organization will just come and be harassing.
We know we have a Nigerian
Listen,
factor where
listen,
people wear uniform, it's as if they put on a new spirit and they can conquer the world.
And that is why me sitting down here, I come from a disciplinary background. And that is why I have to give it to ensure that we work in alongside with the body of the organization. Right. So, and you have to bear with me that in this country, it's only in this country that people don't respect the security. It's only in this country, or in Africa per se, more relate in Nigeria, people don't respect. And we could know, because this is our brother, this is our sisters, and we come from them. But all we need to know is we have to ensure that this is us. How do we present ourselves? We apply the method. And what are the methods? Diplomacy, in how to handle these cases. And what are those cases that we can handle, where police are there? What are those cases where civil defense are there? What are those forces where military are there? What are those things that when DSS are there that can come in? And that's what I'm telling you, that in our organization, we are well organized. And that is why, for us to ensure that we combat, we are well structured with every other organization. That we have intelligence. Definitely before we send out the report, we have to bring out the fact that this is because the report is going. And by the time they sit in the action, they find out that there is no fact on it. You find out that. So every of our reports sent, when you realize, we come out with the fact behind this.
It's getting interesting. Now let's look at the whole. There are reports of corruption and also collusion undermining forex protection. And is the Nigerian Forest Security Service equipped to police not just criminals, but also insiders who help illegal loggers? Not because we have a situation where people come in to cut down trees and all of this. Is the Nigerian Forest Security Service also positioned to police all of this and ensure that we also prevent illegal loggers?
That is why I told you that whenever we have, there is no way we could not have insecurity before the security will come in. And when we apply, or when there have been reason for us to ensure that our forestry is being safeguarded, definitely. In this, you believe with me that gone are those days, a farmer will go to farm, he can take any numbers of the week to confidently sleep while farming. But you agree with me that you can never try it anymore. Our forests are no longer in the peace, meaning they have made the humanity, the economics barbaric to ensure they have no peace. And we are saying that since we are from the local grassroots area, we can always safeguard. We can always safeguard. Now, what we mean by safeguard, there are measures. When you are safeguarding, you are delaying crime not happening. When you are taking such crime not happening, you are equally deterred crime not to happen. When you are there, when somebody is coming to take a quick actions in everything, you find out that somebody is there. You are delaying the action not to take on, and you are stopping the action not to happen in the forest. So you can see our contribution is very, very vital in the forest aspect.
Well, Commander, you've talked about the fact that your men are adequately trained. You've talked about the structure of your organization. Yeah. And you've talked about what the organization stands and represents. I'm curious at this point, if everything you've told us right now is correct,
yes,
how come we're still having criminal elements still hiding in the bushes, in our forests? We still have more of criminality going on within forests as it stands.
Now, we are now coming about where we start. And where do we started? You believe with me that this thing is a national body, right? And when the force of all the security agencies are there, definitely, the patriots of insecurity to ensure that it makes things ungoverned, it will stop. Meaning, if this signal is being given to us, definitely will contribute our quotas to ensure all these criminality.
Well, that's why I started by asking, Commander.
Yes.
First, I asked you about questions that borders on your personnel.
Yes.
I've asked you questions that borders also on the policies, your blueprints, and what the organization stands for. But then you agree with me that the rise of insecurity within our forests is taking a whole new dimension. You also agree with me, Commander, that right now we see more criminal elements taking forest parts to escape.
Yes.
Let's take the case of Yewata in Benue State. It is alleged that some of these persons that came to commit some of these atrocities, they came in through the forest part and they left through the forest part. And your men are well trained. Your men are seasoned professionals. Why are we still having the rise of insecurities, even though forest personnel are manning some of these forests as it stands?
That is why we are talking about the legal
Is it that
power.
there is no enough information sharing?
The legal power is.
So that's why I ask you, can we be trusted? Can we trust?
Of course.
When we find forest security guards on the field, can we trust them? Because the rise of insecurity, even in the forest, right now, if you are not a member of the Nigerian Forest Security Guard, can you walk alone in any Nigerian forest without being afraid that something will happen to you? This is not about
we are confidently telling you
animals that will come and attack you.
We are confidently telling you that when the power is given to us,
so as it stands, that's why
we walk
so with all of
to forest.
As it stands right now, is it that we don't have enough information sharing? Is it that we don't have enough resources? Is it that something is there a missing link right now?
Okay.
Why we have a case of rising insecurity in our forest?
I want to continue to appreciate our president for his first lines of thought to ensure that insecurity have come to stop in Nigeria. And having regard the Nigerian Forest Security Service, while waiting for proper signal to key in, I want to tell you that in going to the Benue aspect, which I'm not stationed, but I cannot give because this is my state here.
We can bring you back to Abuja. We have it in
Of course, that's what I'm stationed. So I want to share with you because we all receive all the security reports in all the across. By the time we signal to our Commander General, he receives all the signal, then send it to all the sister agency. Now, in this Yawuta per se in the Benue, I want to tell you when it happened and how it happened. Now, you can believe with me that how are the boundary share? And that's why we are telling you that in the boundary share, if we have been in the front line of defense, definitely there is no way that the information we will not see or give out the information to other security agency in case there is manpower. Remember, every combatant force, the military are there, and Air Force are there to pilot to see. If there is water faces, the Navy are there. So what we are saying is that if the members of Nigerian Forest Security Service are in lines of defense, if there is any force, if there is any reinforcement, we call on the military to switch in the action. In case we see, definitely we signal. Then by the time we were there, definitely. But this is very simple, that the powers of that times were in station. And if today you are telling me that, yes, you have give me proper signal, where I go, I'm behind you, the government have already cycled you, where I go, definitely all those things will contribute massively in our quarters. If we have been doing this under voluntary organization, when you call us, we sit in the action to ensure it's we return back to our base. And you want to bear witness that if from today, like for instance, this is in the FCT here, Our men, our members of Nigerian Forest Security Service contribute our quotas voluntarily. By the time you call us, this is our incident. We have entered so many things.
Well, are the forests safer right now? Are the forests safer right now?
With our contribution, they are limited.
The FCTs,
there
are the forests safe? Can an average person that is not well trained walk into the forest right now and be guaranteed that his life is safe?
Of course.
In a
FCT.
Well, maybe, Commander, we have to do this. We have to take that tour and try to see how it plays out within the FCT. But then, we're looking at all of this in its generality. How safe are the Nigerian forests right now?
Fine. I cannot 100% say, because we are dealing with fact. Right? We cannot.
With your trained personnel.
That's what I'm saying.
With your trained personnel, with the fact that as a voluntary organization for 10 years, the organization have also been able to, about 10 years. Let's say about 10 years. Quotas. So for about 10 years, the organization has also been able to contribute its quotas.
Yes.
But right now, are the forests safe?
Yes. That's what
within
I'm saying.
the FCT.
That 100%, because we are not in the national body. So this leave for the national body.
I asked you the first question. If we find a member of the Nigerian Forest Security Service in the forest, can we be guaranteed, can Nigerians trust their safety on the premise of seeing a member of the Nigerian Forest Security Service?
If the rights have been given,
okay, so as it stands right now,
yes,
because there is no, as a voluntary
by the time you call me to contribute my quotas, I go.
Because there is no legal, let's use the word legal backing, and also recognition. As it stands right now, the borders, our forests are not safe because of all of this. If we find members of the Nigerian Forest Service in the forest, we are not sure that our lives are safe.
Mr. Godwin, there is something you need to understand in the security here.
All right.
We deal with order. Without the order received, by the time we been in this structure, we are saying, give us the management and the power. We will do
is there a missing link?
That's what we're saying. That now we are saying about the government structure. Now, when we are talking about the the government structure, the army are there, which everybody knows. These people are already in what? In the donkey years of the ascensions. The policies are there, right? But Nigerian Forest Security Service, we are saying we can always contribute our quotas if these legal right have been given to us, having seen our activities under voluntarily. So if you have been doing, competing and contributing your quotas in the contributions of, in such a way that where we started under voluntarily, definitely if officially the government said with these people have been doing, nobody is being caretaken on their welfare. Nobody is being caretaken on any other of their mobility. Nobody. Summertime, when data is signal to us, please help. The way manner we signal to ourselves is either by the fruit, is either any individual motorcycle, we contribute. Tell me now that if officially government say with your master's contribution, the legal right have been given to you, you can do more. So we are saying that with the aim certain from the national body, from our Commandant General, down to all the state level, I want to tell you that incidences have been happening for other states. They contribute. Our men contribute. Whenever, definitely, because this is our roots. And when we are saying about the root, this is our community. We know the progress. Sometimes you call us, being as military, the police, and all that. Please, can you show us the channel? Can you show us the route? Where is this thing leading to? Our men, they contribute, and our men, sometimes they be in the front line to direct. This is where maybe the army have get the information. They will now call us that, okay, this social local organization are here. Direct us. They will direct us. So I want to tell you that our men have been contributing. Unlike Kogi, our men contributed. Our men have contributed. Even in Bauchi, the state government and the Bauchi have ensured that since these people have been contributing under voluntary, let me give them their access.
All right, Commander. So let's, just before I let you go, what does the organization need right now? to be able to address some of the issues right now within the forest, especially the issue around banditry, because it's becoming very alarming.
Yes,
the issue around criminality is also very disturbing. What does the organization need to be able to carry out full-fledged
proper recognition from the national body? Proper recognition from the national body. If you recognize us from the national body to the state level, definitely.
So apart from recognition, we're not looking at any...
We are looking, when you recognize us, definitely you will support us with any other thing.
I thought since the organization is a voluntary organization as it stands right now, you're not recognized. Perhaps we'll be talking about community support.
That's what I'm saying.
But then you're talking about recognition. The communities that... You've told us here that your men go to in order for them to be recruited into the scheme and the program, they go to their chiefs in their community and they get consent from the chief in this regard. So I was thinking at this point we'll be talking about communities providing the Nigerian Forest Security Service with probably equipment or something in order for them to carry out proper assessment of the forest.
I want to appreciate every person that sometimes when they see our important, they contribute. But what we are saying about recognition, if you recognize me, definitely every other thing will be given out to you in supporting. What I'm saying recognition, meaning that when you understand this is what these people have been doing, which is very straight, it's spelled out that our organization has contributed massively for the whole national body, 36 including us in FCT. Right. So now, if we have been doing this to ensure that we contribute massively to ensure that criminality has come to stop in every other forest activities. Definitely, whatever you definitely you know that there is no way you can do away without anything mobility. There is no way you can do away with the welfare. There is no way you can do away with so many disregard. So definitely, with the community level, the chiefs, the chairmen, and all that, the government body, they should understand that these organizations stand on their request. That we are their own, they belong to us. You have villages, you have communities, and if your community is being, somebody have contributed his quotas voluntarily.
All right, Commander Bao, before I let you go, let's talk about accountability of the Corps and where you've been able to carry out some of your activities. The members of this organization, your members, how do they report? Is there a reporting line? Looking at the rudimentary structure, is that the way it's structured also?
Yes.
And if yes, have there been a situation where you, on accountability strength, you're able to address some kind of misconceptions around the organization?
Okay, if I may get to misconceptions of the organization in lines I couldn't want.
And also misrepresentation of the organization.
Yeah, okay.
You know, recall I told you that a lot of Nigerians still have that notion that members of the Nigerian Forest Security Service are also part of some of the things, allegedly part of the insecurity concerns that we have in the country. So I have you right now to clear me on this.
Okay.
Are there structures in order to ensure that your men give full-fledged accountability?
Okay, let me clear you here that this is FCT, which we have 885 communities under our watch. In this regard, we have 6 area council, 17 chiefdom, and in structure basis, every of my command have structure. Now, when we are talking about AMAC, from the AMAC area command, we have the ward command, we have the unit command. So also all the 6 area council. And whenever all the men are being deployed, we give all the reports. We give updates. Every activities before any operation, we signal. Every man going out for any operation, there is always a report, and the report reach out to me, then I signal to the national body. That is how we are being operating. So in accountability in our operational basis, that is how we are in line of it. And we never burn it.
Well, that's good to know. At least we've heard from the horse's mouth, who is the commander, knowing fully well that the Nigerian Forest Security Service are not sabotaging the forest and they are not sabotaging the system. I want to really appreciate you for finding out time to be with us here on Korero.
Thank
you. It's always interesting having you talk about Nigerian forest, because who best to talk about it if not from the commander himself. Thank you so much, Commander, for finding out time to be with us.
God bless you, Mr. Sunday Godwin. God bless you. Having you.
Well, viewers, this is how far we can go here on Korero. Don't forget that you can also follow us across all our various social media handles currently showing on your screen. And you can also download the Rapid TV app from your Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. My name is Godwin Sunday. Like I always say, always remember that peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Do enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye for now.